Hola amigos, ¿qué tal? Stuart here from Spain Speaks with a Spain news update. An economic recovery here in Spain is taking longer than expected, and pre-pandemic economy levels won't be reached until 2023. But more about that in just a moment. Firstly, a big thanks to all of the people that left comments on the last video. Lots of comments, lots of debate happening there as usual. Thanks to people that supported the channel through a donation or by buying me a beer or a coffee. Many thanks for that. Thanks to people that bought merchandise, and a big thanks to my patrons on Patreon for your continuing support. Now, let's get into the news, and as I said, the economy here in Spain is struggling to get back to pre-pandemic levels. And as we can see here, the consequences of relying on tourism for the economy. The Balearic Islands and the Canary Islands are hampering the return to pre-COVID levels. Spain is far from recovering its pre-pandemic GDP levels, beyond the doubts that the government has about the results of the national accounts of the National Statistics Institute. What the data show is that the Spanish economy has fallen behind the European recovery, and according to the Ministry of Economy itself, it will not return to its point of origin to 2019 until the first half of 2023. And with this delay, there are two communities that base their economy too much on tourism and that are particularly lagging behind: the Balearic Islands and the Canary Islands. So an overdependence on tourism in the Canary Islands and the Balearic Islands hampering Spain's economic recovery. And those two places here in Spain are classic examples of putting all your eggs in the same basket. Now, we saw last year that one of the Sanchez government's main priorities is to eradicate prostitution here in Spain. But according to figures on prostitution in this country, it's not going to be easy. Because as we can see here, the government says there are 45,000 women and girls in prostitution in Spain, and more than 90% of them victims of trafficking. The government has put the number of women and girls in prostitution in Spain at around 45,000, of whom between 90% and 95% are victims of trafficking. It does so in response to a parliamentary question asked by the Vox parliamentary group, in which it questions the Spanish government on the measures planned to guarantee access to stable employment and conditions for victims of trafficking, sexual exploitation, and in context of prostitution. The government points out that Spain is a country of origin, transit, and destination for trafficking in women and girls for the purpose of sexual exploitation. So there we go, the reality of prostitution here in Spain. Between 90 and 95% of women and girls involved in prostitution are victims of human trafficking. Absolutely disgraceful in my opinion. Now, we all know that Spain is renowned for high quality fruit and vegetables, but apparently a lot of the fruit and vegetables you buy at the supermarket here in Spain might not be what it seems. And as we can see, there's a war on fruit and vegetables exported as Spanish. The evidence of the crime is dozens of abandoned cardboard boxes with labels reading Morocco, Egypt, or Turkey. Their contents have been transferred with the utmost secrecy behind closed doors and often at night, only to reappear in supermarkets as being produced in Spain. They are tomatoes, oranges, or peppers grown outside the European Union at a much lower price, with fewer health guarantees, and without the authorities knowing their origin. $1 million fraud that has just reached Congress. The PSOE has registered an initiative urging the government to activate with the communities more measures to stop a practice that endangers the future of local producers and jeopardizes the prestige of the Spanish brand. In Andalusia alone, the key nucleus of the scheme, 838 inspections were carried out, and 448,000 euros in sanctions were imposed between 2019 and 2021, according to data obtained by El País in application of the transparency law. So be careful of fraudulent fruit and veg the next time you're at a supermarket here in Spain, because you might think you're buying locally grown produce, but it could be coming from Turkey, Morocco, or even Egypt. Now, you could get the impression here in Spain that the COVID-19 pandemic is done and dusted, but according to epidemiologists, that is not the case. And as we can see from this headline, Spain faces the 7th wave of the pandemic blindfolded. We are not facing a silent wave of the pandemic. We are blindfolding ourselves to the new wave. We are not wanting to see it. We do not want to call it by its name. Epidemiologist Daniel Lopez Acuña, former director of health action in crisis situations at the World Health Organization, is categorical when it comes to analyzing the rise in the incidence of COVID-19 and the increase in hospitalizations in the last month, especially since Easter and the end of the compulsory wearing of masks indoors. The incidence rate in the population over 60 years of age, the only one currently offered by the Ministry of Health, has risen since the 1st of April from 459 accumulated cases per 100,000 inhabitants in 14 days to 813.22 in the latest report on Friday, a rise of 77%. So there we go, some strong words from the epidemiologist Mr. Lopez Acuna. We're going into the 7th wave of the pandemic blindfolded, he says. Now we all know that the career of Spain's greatest ever tennis player, Rafa Nadal, may soon be coming to an end, but it appears he has a natural successor, a young man by the name of Carlos Alcaraz. And as we can see here, yesterday he won the Mutua Madrid Open and scared the tennis world with his unstoppable form. The future that lies ahead for Carlos Alcaraz is impossible to imagine. At the age of 19, he has won his second ATP Masters 1000 in an unbeatable manner. He has done it at the Mutua Open in Madrid, which has fallen in love forever with the tennis of the player from Murcia. The reigning double winner of the tournament, who has never lost in the Caja Mágica, Alexander Zverev, looked like a caricature on the clay and was defeated at the mercy of the new star of world tennis in barely an hour, 6-3, 6-1. So Spain's latest tennis sensation, Carlos Alcaraz, in unstoppable form. Now let's have a look at some of the comments from previous videos. One here from Carmen: speaking of geranium stew, you might want to go visit the ongoing Fiesta de los Patios de Córdoba to cheer up your mood. It runs from May the 3rd to the 15th this year. Beautiful home gardens with stunning flowers of those iconic white walls. I'm visiting Galicia from California, United States, and just saw a TV report yesterday about the event. Had never heard of it and planned to try to attend maybe next year. Yeah, Carmen, thanks for the comment, and you're right. La Fiesta de los Patios is an annual event down there in Córdoba, Andalusia. People open their homes and put their patios, their gardens and their flowers on display for the world to see. And it is a great event, providing you don't have hay fever. I went to Córdoba back in 2018, and my time there coincided with this festival. And it's probably the best time of year to visit that part of Spain because the temperatures are not too hot yet. Because if you visit a city like Córdoba in the months of July and August, you might not get out of there alive. One here from Alberto: tapas, Salamanca, hands down. Jamón ibérico de Guijuelo with a glass of Ribera, patatas bravas in the Plaza Mayor in the Tapas de Gonzalo, and off the beaten path El Bar de Chuchi in a neighborhood north of the Plaza Mayor. Also some boquerones with a glass of verdejo. I will be there in July. Yum! Alberto, thanks for the comment, and thanks for adding to the debate that we have been having on this channel in recent times about the best cities here in Spain for tapas. We've mentioned Granada, we've mentioned Avila, we've mentioned Ciudad Real, somebody mentioned Linares in Jaén, and now you have added Salamanca. And you're right, that part of Spain is famous for its hams, chorizos, and other pork-related products. In fact, some people argue that the best ham in Spain comes from Guijuelo. So I'll add Salamanca to my list of cities when I start doing my tapas reviews. One here from Melanie: hi Stu, sorry to hear that you are fed up. I hope you don't change your channel. It has been a source of invaluable information to me and many others who don't speak the language properly. I came across your channel when I was thinking of moving here to Spain. I've now been living here for 2.5 years. Before the pandemic, you often used to mix it up with some lovely videos of different towns, and now that Spain has opened up, hopefully you will start doing these again. Chin up, Stu. We really do appreciate your hard work. Yeah, Melanie, thanks for the comment and for the positive words. I was a bit down on Saturday, and that was reflected in the video that I put out, and I even said that I was going to change the direction of this channel. But don't worry, that's not going to happen. But what I am going to do is mix up the content a bit. My plan is to diversify the channel a little bit more, start doing some travel videos again, and not get so bogged down in the politics and news. So all I've got to do is find the time to do all that, which unfortunately is not going to be easy. One here from Aztec Girl: thank you for your videos. I know we all have bad days. It's part of being human. I hope you know how important your videos are. My boyfriend and I are on a limited income and can hardly afford living in California anymore. We are saving to move to Spain. He went to college in Paris and visited Spain and fell in love with it. So we are planning to possibly move next year. So I hope you know how important your videos are to many of us. Thank you for all you do. Your Aztec Girl, thanks for the comment, and again, thank you for your kind words. And it was amazing and inspiring to see so many positive comments from people like you and other members of this fantastic community. So good luck with your plans to move here next year, and I hope all goes well. And finally, one here from Dawn: hi Stuart, I usually miss these live, but always watch them after. I would love for you to throw in some food videos. I live in Madrid and like to get other takes on the local food and also suggestions for new places. I would also support your language lessons if you decide to take that on. Thanks for all you do. Yeah, Dawn, thanks for the comment, and I hope all is going well for you in the fantastic city that is Madrid. Spain's capital, of course, and in my opinion, it's also the most dynamic city in this country. And don't worry, I'm planning to throw some food review videos into the mix in coming months and give my honest opinion on the local fare. Some of the local dishes here are fantastic when they're done well, but if they're not done well, it's a terrible dining experience. So stay tuned for those. On that note, I'll wrap the video up. Questions and comments, please leave them in the section below. Debate the video out as you normally do. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. I'll see you in the next one. Hasta luego.